Just 5 more pushes, Stella. I pressed the blue towel in my left hand against her skin, and my right hand cupped the soft plum dome of the baby's head as she crowned. I caught Lisa's eye over her mask. She had the isolette cart ready, the one that would whisk the new wiggly human to NICU if we needed to start up the lungs or restart the heart the size of a walnut. I wasn't worried, though. The fetal monitor had been good this whole time. Stella was over 6 feet tall with a pelvis you could drive a Mack truck through. If we finished this right, she wouldn't even need stitches. Baby was fighting me, a great sign. My neck gave a sharp twinge. My own 36 weeks pregnant shape had made all my normal movements feel different, and my muscles protested the physicality of my job. Stella gave the last push with an elongated grunt, but no shouting. She hadn't even sworn once. Then the baby's head was out, and a second later the rest of her slipped free. All the parts were in the right place. Here she is, Mama. I gave the infant a quick rub down and placed her skin to skin on Stella's belly. I continued to dry and stimulate while Lisa suctioned the baby's mouth and then her nose. The little one gave a startled squall in the pitch of new kitten, my favorite sound in the whole world. You hear that? My voice was low, so only Stella could hear. That's the sound of your baby saying she loves you for the very first time. Stella met my eyes for a split second, and in her gaze was that deliciously stunned look that never failed to give me goosebumps. Then I disappeared in her view, as did her husband, a guy named Steve, who I couldn't pick out of a lineup of identically bland white men. For a few moments, no one else existed except her new little girl. The rest of us were mere shadows for a few more moments. Soon, Stella would refocus from her baby and look up at Steve, and in that moment, he'd become Dad. But not until after Stella had morphed from pregnant to mother. People always thought the miracle of birth was about what happened between the mother's legs, but honestly, the actual process of giving birth was usually the least of it. The body would do what the body did. Even with modern drugs and birthing pools and hospital tools, the body was the master. If the women didn't need medical intervention, they had their babies in exactly the same way they'd have them laboring alone in a hut on a mountainside. When a woman turned into a mother, that was the real miracle. I watched Stella's face go from red to light pink, watched the tears fill her eyes. I'd almost pegged her as a non-crier, something we rarely see. And then it happened. The fierceness swamped her. I didn't see it happen in all new mothers. Some were too drugged, and some just didn't have it yet. Some wouldn't get it for months, years, or sometimes ever. But Stella got it. A muscle jumped in her cheek as she bent her head to smell the baby, and I could almost hear her teeth grit with determination to keep this child safe. Steve looked like the kind of guy who would give her a push gift, a necklace, or a bigger diamond ring. What he should give her was an enemy nation to conquer. The fierceness had turned her into a warrior. By then, Lisa, one of the best nurse midwives I worked with, was showing Stella how to tickle the infant's lower lip with her nipple so her mouth would open for a good latch. I gave a small wave and said, I'll check on you both later. But no one saw me go. That was the way I liked it. Some of my colleagues got possessive of the babies and their mothers. I didn't think of them as mine. I was pit crew, that's all. Okay, yeah, I was really great pit crew, but still just a grease monkey. I was the glass you broke in case of emergency. And I was also an hour past getting off my 24-hour shift. I was exhausted, and being this monumentally pregnant made everything more difficult. I'd have to hurry to make it home, start the Instant Pot, and still get to my meeting on time. I took a quick shower and changed into my street clothes in the locker room. My Audi slipped me out of the parking garage straight into traffic, which wasn't as bad as it could have been for early evening. I chanced taking Abbot Kinney Boulevard right through the heart of Venice's shopping district. When we'd moved here 6 years ago, Venice was already upscale, belying its hippie reputation, but it had gotten even more bougie in the last couple of years. Blue Bottle coffee, $6 lattes, vied with Blue Star donuts, $4 mimosa donuts across the street. As usual, there was a line outside of Salt and Straw ice cream. Rochelle loved their lavender bourbon flavor, but I was always going to be more of a Ben& Jerry's Americone Dream kind of person.